Well, we are back once again with the Elimination Chamber predictions. Now, the Elimination Chamber tomorrow will be going live from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia at 12 noon Eastern, 5 Central, somewhere now. Let's get straight into the Raw Women's Championship match versus Becky Lynch and Lita. I just want to go back to this past Monday, where Becky Lynch told Lita, "Don't push me."
Okay, I'll come out of left there. What, Becky Lynch thinks she is a baby carriage or something? She said, "Don't push me." That's a baby carriage.
Well, despite all that, the match is tomorrow. Becky Lynch versus Lita. Lita hasn't been in the ring since I don't know how long.
I think 10 years or something like that. I don't exactly remember. It doesn't matter. She still got ring awareness. Look at 2 weeks ago, she turned on and did the twisted fate on Becky Lynch.
Okay, what could happen? Hear me out. If Becky Lynch gets disqualified or counted out, keeps the Raw Women's title. I'm just hypothetically speaking here. Becky Lynch is known for that.
Yeah, she did it with Bianca Belair. She did it with Doudrop. Yeah, she's like that. My personal opinion is I'm more interested in the Elimination Chamber with the men.
Well, we'll get to that at some point here.
But as far as Becky Lynch, knowing Becky Lynch, she's gonna pull a fast one and grab the ropes, something, get disqualified.
Pretty much. But I'm saying, I have to say, if any altercations go down, I'm gonna have to say Lita on this one. I'm sorry. I think Lita can take it if they call the match down the middle.
Lita's more experienced in wrestling, even though she's been out of the ring for I think 10 years or something like that. Becky Lynch has been there for a while, but Becky Lynch is a cheater.
Now let's kick things over to the SmackDown Live brand. We just seen last night on SmackDown the contract signing between Ronda Rousey teaming up with Naomi. We saw the contract signing between them two versus Charlotte Flair and Sonya Deville. But this time, Ronda must fight Charlotte and Sonya with one arm tied behind her back.
She can still get that. I don't know if she calls that the where she breaks her arm, but she still can get that. And Naomi's a good wrestler. She's come a long, long way. I think she practices with her husband Jimmy. Works out with Jimmy. I'm just saying.
But I'm saying Naomi and Ronda Rousey on that one.
Yeah, I still say Ronda Rousey can still get that disarm or whatever it's called, break your arm. It'd be funny if she got it on Charlotte Flair. I'm sorry, I'm not a Charlotte Flair fan.
Now let's take things over to. Let's keep things on the SmackDown Live brand for a minute here. We have the Usos defending their tag team titles against the Viking Raiders.
I'm going to say the Viking Raiders, but then again, Jimmy and Jay Uso are also cheaters too. They learned it from their cousin Roman Reigns. Leaky.
Yep.
I say I'm going to go with Ivar and Eric. Yes, I said their names right once. I'm gonna go with Ivar and Eric. But then again, like I said, Jimmy and Jay Uso like to cheat.
Yeah.
We
seen it last night in that one-on-one match.
Yeah.
When Jay got in there with Jimmy.
Yeah, like I said, they cheat. They learn from their, if and I'm not trying to get off the train, but if Dwayne Johnson was there, he'd be smacking him upside the head because he never cheated when he wrestled.
No.
That's their uncle, cousin, whatever. But I'm going back
and,
to.
and like you said, they don't have that their Samoan heritage like they should have been. They should have carried that Samoan heritage out through the whole thing. I mean, let's take it back to 2010 with Umaga. He carried his Samoan heritage
Right.
with a face paint
Look at their
and
little
a necklace.
Look at their little brother over on NXT.
Solo Sokoa.
Yeah, he's
Got
got
the
the
arm taped, thumb.
Hawaiian, heritage.
Got the Samoan spike with
Yeah.
that necklace when he comes out
Yeah.
and the towel. That's a Samoan heritage.
Maybe they don't want to be Maybe they don't want to be Samoans anymore. I don't know. They're too westernized. What I mean is they're too hooked on the crap of the world.
Pretty much. All them titles. No offense.
Yeah.
But then again, Eric and Iva are the top guys right now that are in the line for a title shot. So Eric and Iva could take these titles from the Usos. Not saying that the Usos win it, but at some point, we're gonna be at WrestleMania before we know it, and the Usos are gonna have to defend them and eventually have to lose them.
Yeah.
I mean, look back at Day 1 against the New Day. New Day couldn't get the job done. Can the Viking Raiders finally, as my famous buddy would say on Raw, could the Usos be shut out, and could the Viking Raiders finally and once and for all shut up the Usos?
That'd be nice, but I don't trust the Usos as far as I can spit. And I'm saying that politely since we're live on YouTube. Like I said, I don't see that they're not going to win. But then again, Jimmy and Jay Uso are cheaters.
Yeah, and you're correct about that. But now let's moving things forward here, settling it aside. Let's talk about the men's elimination chamber match. I have 4 picks. My predictions can't be any longer.
I'm gonna say you had your 4 picks. I'm gonna say I'm thinking in the back of my head they're gonna try to eliminate Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley.
Well, like I told you, if that happens, someone's got to take it, and I hope it's not Theory.
No, I hope it's not Austin Theory.
But if it is,
then it is.
best of luck at him at WrestleMania. I'm against Roman Reigns or Goldberg, one of the two. But my 4 picks are Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, or Riddle. I'm sorry. Bobby Lashley's somewhat in the mix, but again, there's no disqualification, meaning that MVP can get involved with that match. And like you said, they could eliminate Bobby Lashley and they could eliminate Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
And it comes down to Theory, Styles, Rollins, and Riddle.
Rollins is conniving and underhanded. He's good at what he does.
But also you gotta think about that. You gotta think about this for a minute here now. Them 3, Styles, Rollins, and Riddle, are gonna team up to take out Theory. Then we're gonna have ourselves a triple threat match. And Rollins and Styles are the 2 main guys, like you were saying. They don't like to give up and don't like to lay down on the mat and think it's over.
Rollins don't. He's been like that. He's the architect.
But now, let's take a look at Styles. I mean, against Omos and then against a couple others. I mean, lay down for the count in 1, 2, 3, like that. Rollins, on the other hand, he just don't like to lay down. He don't think it's over.
He don't give up until he's bleeding.
I don't think he gives up until an ounce, a doubt is left in him.
Yeah, that's true too. I say mine's Riddle, because Riddle's pretty good. He's MMA and he knows the ropes of WWE now. That's my 1 pick. I'm saying my boy AJ Styles. That'd be sweet if he came out on top and got that belt. He's never had that belt. My other pick, definitely Seth Rollins. And I'm still gonna go with the Beast Incarnate. I'm gonna go with Brock Lesnar. Because if him and what's his name are out there first. Bobby Lashley is screwed.
Pretty much. But if you think about it, like you said, all he has to do is get one move in and it's over. That hurt lock. But he can't get it locked in on Brock.
Brock's got that big fat neck, and I'm not being mean to dude, but his neck is big as a cow's head.
Now let's kick things over to staying on the Raw brand. Let's kick things over to the women's division. We got Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Doudrop, and of course Nikki ASH, and finally, last but not least, Alexa Bliss.
The crazy lady.
But Alexa Bliss, will this be normal Alexa, or will this be Alexa Bliss with Lily?
Yeah.
My 3 picks are Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, or Alexa Bliss. I'm sorry.
Okay, my 3. You got that. I say my 3 picks would be Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley, and Liv Morgan too. I go with Liv Morgan because she's a little fighting little girl.
I mean, Bianca's the last woman to enter this chamber match, and like you said, none of these men that are in the chamber and none of these women know when they're gonna start 1 or 2. None of them know.
No.
Only Bianca knows she's gonna enter last, but the men don't.
Yeah, and the thing is
I mean, it's like I tell you all the time. When you enter that chamber, you can enter random in that match.
I think it's Doudrop's first time. Liv Morgan.
No, Liv Morgan's second.
Oh, second time.
Mm-hmm.
What about
Rhea's?
No, not Rhea's.
Bianca?
No, the other one.
Alexa
Bliss.
So third, I think, or fourth.
Okay. What about Rhea Ripley?
This is her first, and Bianca's too.
Okay,
So
and Doudrop's.
So yeah, so we got 3 women.
And Nikki's been in an Elimination Chamber? No.
Tag team, yeah.
Oh, tag team?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, well then there's Liv Morgan,
Alexa Bliss.
I'm sorry.
Nikki ASH.
And Nikki ASH. But
versus the 3 non-women that have never been in a chamber.
But I still go with Rhea Ripley because I like Rhea Ripley. She's good. She's a real good wrestler. She don't cry when it's the end of the
match.
Or
even in the middle.
Alexa Bliss has.
As some people know, Natalya is the biggest crybaby in WWE that we've all seen before.
Yeah, a new girl that
Aaliyah
beat her.
3.17 seconds. Now let's kick things over to the SmackDown Live brand and the main event. Can't be harder than this. Goldberg versus Roman Reigns, Spear versus Spear.
Legend versus
somewhat a legend.
Yeah, well no, because isn't he
a legend. Reigns would be considered a legend. He took out Edge and John Cena.
Right, yeah, that qualifies him.
But it doesn't qualify him yet, unless he's like Randy Orton.
Right. The thing is I say I'm gonna go with Goldberg because Goldberg is the original Spear.
And Goldberg said last night on Friday Night SmackDown, before they came out face to face, he said he don't care if he's 22 or 55 or however age he is, he's still gonna come out and do what he does best.
Yeah.
And he told Roman Reigns, "You're right. You're not next. I'm next for that Universal Championship tomorrow."
Doesn't The Miz and Rey Mysterio have a match too?
That's another one I'm going to get to in a minute here. Let's talk about the main event. Roman Reigns versus Goldberg. I'm picking Goldberg. Only if Goldberg plays his cards right and attacks Roman Reigns outside the ring first and breaks that arm. This way he cannot get the guillotine locked in.
And also if the Usos don't get involved.
Yeah, but come on now.
They've done it before.
They've done it before with Brock, but Brock wasn't ready. Goldberg's ready. Goldberg's mind's set. Look at back in WCW. 150?
Yeah. Right, yeah.
I mean 175 and 0?
Yeah.
Come on now. Reigns can't beat that.
No.
He's trying to with the title ring. 583 days.
Yeah.
He's Universal Champion. How do you go from not defending it to defending it? And then adding up all those annies?
He's never defended it. He's only defended it a couple
506 days.
Yeah, but he's only defended it a couple times. A couple pay-per-view. He don't come on SmackDown like John Cena used to do.
No.
challenge.
Never comes down like AJ Styles or Randy Orton or The Miz, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Miz might be a butthole, but still,
He if he had the title, Miz would come out and do an open challenge.
Yeah.
Like, no offense, Baron Corbin.
Yeah.
Now kicking things over back to the Raw brand. Let's talk about Rey Mysterio, a legend, versus a WWE Hall of Famer, The Miz. We got actually now we can say we have two legends going into the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Not the structure.
Legends?
Miz and Rey Mysterio.
Oh, they're gonna be in Elimination Chamber too?
No, at the pay-per-view.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna say I go for Rey Mysterio because I'm tired of the Miz saying that Rey Mysterio is a cheater and he doesn't cheat.
Like I told you before, like I told you earlier, he said the same thing with Edge, and Edge proved him wrong.
Then again, Edge might show up and throw his game off.
Then again, John Morrison could show up and throw off Miz's game.
Yeah, John Morrison don't like Mr. Miz anymore after him faking a wheelchair. That's behind us. But now let's go back over to Smackdown. I know you usually run this.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre and Madcap.
No, you're saying it wrong. It's the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre, and his sword Angela taking on Madcap. He said cap like I would say.
Right.
Taking on Madcap Moss and a false count anyway.
Oh
But now, you heard Drew. Anything legal. So that means he could use a sword.
Yeah.
So that means Madcap Moss might be a dead Madcap Moss.
I don't think Drew would take it that far. Remember he said he'd drown him in the water or put him in the sand.
Really?
You know Happy Corbin's gonna be there with him.
That's alright, he got the same treatment too.
That's pretty much all of them.
I like Drew what he said tonight on SmackDown Live. After the Elimination Chamber, all fun and games will be over. All the laughing stops. Tonight. The Elimination Chamber. But how does Lashley feel when that structure up above gets lowered and he's locked in there with 5 other men?
He's been in Elimination Chamber before.
Yes, the first one. This
So
is the
is
second.
Brock.
Brock's never been in one.
Never been? Well, AJ Pedophile has been.
More than once, yes.
More than once.
Same with Seth Rollins.
But Austin Theory and Riddle, this is their first.
And Lesnar.
And Lesnar is their first Elimination Chamber.
Now we all know Lesnar lost his opportunity in the Royal Rumble when he qualified for the Elimination Chamber. Yes, you lose your Royal Rumble spot at WrestleMania until you win the Elimination Chamber and go on to main event WrestleMania.
I see, and I'm not.
And I'm sorry to say this. The reason why I said Brock, only because Brock was my last pick, because Brock can't get up like always.
Right. I'm gonna say, with all respect, I see either Austin Theory or Riddle because they're younger than AJ.
Yeah, but you gotta think about this now. If Riddle does take it, what happens to RK Bro?
They have to disband.
Because we know for the past 18 years, Randy Orton does not play well with others.
Actually, he's been playing pretty well with Riddle. He stuck up for him more than once.
Yes.
But then again, they still might go for the tag team belts.
But come on, really? Do a Miz and get 2 belts? And leave Randy Orton with 1? Come on now.
Riddle 2 belts.
Now you know what's gonna happen if Riddle does get that title. Orton's gonna ask him, give me a shot at Fastlane. And right there, Fastlane's gonna be over. And Randy Orton would be walking into WrestleMania against Roman Reigns or Goldberg. Now, if it's Goldberg and Randy Orton, I'm sorry, Randy's got this all the way in the bag.
I personally say,
But see, Roman Reigns thinks that, well, just because Goldberg's up in age, he's gonna, as soon as that bell rings, he thinks when Goldberg comes running, or when Reigns goes running, he thinks he's just gonna get that guillotine locked in and it's gonna be over and Goldberg. Well, guess what? Newsflash, it's not gonna be.
Newsflash. I know that. So that's pretty much all in the bag, right?
Pretty much, yeah. I'm picking Drew McIntyre against Madcap Moss.
I'm going
Madcap.
Madcap.
Yeah.
I will too. You know I like Drew McIntyre.
And don't forget, he doesn't come alone. His
Brings
sword, Angela.
That sword was his mother's, and she died, and it left it behind for him.
But what? Oh, that's not, wait a second now. Hold on a second now. Are we sure that Ricochet and Sheamus don't want their rematch?
Oh my God.
Or wait, no. This time it might not be Sheamus and Ricochet. This time it may be Ricochet. It might be Sheamus and Rich Holland at the kickoff.
Wrestling each other?
Yeah, he shoved Rich Holland.
Oh, he did?
Mhm. But you know one thing before I end this podcast that I really miss, and you gotta agree with me on this, the cruiserweight starting the kickoff show.
But they took that completely out.
Well, not really. You think about it. Cruiserweights ain't gone. 24/7 title.
Oh, yeah.
Could we see also Reggie defend it
I can't believe
at the Elimination Chamber?
I can't believe he conned Dana out of that belt.
After being so nice and so convenient to Dana Brooke, he pinned her 1, 2, 3. And could we also see our buddy Pat McAfee be there and dance on Michael Cole's shoulder like he's been doing when Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs come out?
I hope Rick Boogs is alright.
Don't be like Sami Zayn, Rick Boobs.
I pray for him. I know I'm supposed to pray for everybody.
So that pretty much wraps it up.
The Deep.
That pretty much wraps it up in a nutshell. And one final last reminder, and this is going to be on a very sad note. The Undertaker was the first man ever to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. What an honor it's been for that man. His legacy will live on. The Phenom and his streak will continue 21-0. It does not count when Brock Lesnar beat him. It does not count. I don't care what Paul Heyman says.